Hello everyone, and welcome to this video on how to use our HCPCS Level 2 code manual. Like other code manuals, we have an index where we look up codes, and then we have the tabular where we verify them. So our index is in the front. It's on page 1 of the HCPCS manual. Now the first few pages have the symbols, the conventions, some anatomy illustrations, if you need to look at certain tendons or vessels, nerves, those kinds of anatomy illustrations. There are a few here that you can reference. But to actually look up the index, again, everything's alphabetical in all of these red pages. Then our blue pages are the tables of drugs, if you want to just come here and look up a drug, for example. And then the actual HCPCS codes start right here on page 113 with the transport services. Our codes A000040 through A0999. And then it's broken down by sections. These are the dental codes. C is the CMS hospital outpatient. A is the administrative miscellaneous investigal. So you can see all of these codes. This is the tabular. It ends with the V's, which are the hearing codes. Then our appendices, Appendix A has jurisdiction for the durable medical equipments. Appendix B is the correct coding policies and the coding initiative. If you want to review any of that for CPT or HCPCS, that's all back here in the appendix. But let's go ahead and practice using our HCPCS manual. It's pretty straightforward. So we're going to go to the index. The alphabetical index is where we always start. And let's say that our patient had a gravelly jet washer. Remember, HCPCS are for supplies, equipment, medications, where CPT or ICD-10-PCS are for the actual procedures and services. So this one, gravelly jet washer, I'm going to go to G, to gravelly. You can see right there, gravelly jet washer, A4470. So we're going to flip to that code, A4470. So here's A4470. Try to come in a little bit closer, see if you can see that better. So it says under A4470, gravelly jet washer, and these are the symbols, and they're all down here too if you need to know what any of these symbols beside the code mean, like the QP, for example, quantity physician, QH, quantity hospital. B is for bill part B for Medicare. So you can look at the symbols. They're always at the bottom of your code manual here, your HCPCS code manual. Let's do another one. Let's try a patient who, let's say our patient had a wound and is coming in for a hydrocolloid dressing. And let's say their wound was 24 square inches. You have to know the wound when you're doing the dressing. So we're going to look up H for hydroid. So there we go, hydrocolloid dressing, and it gives me a range, A6234 to A6241. So I need to go to the A's, to that range, and look at all the codes in that range. So A6234 is what we want. That's 223. So here we go. A6234, hydrocolloid dressing, wound cover, sterile, pad size 16 square inches or less without adhesive border, each dressing. Then A6235 is hydrocolloid dressing, wound cover, sterile, pad size more than 16 square inches but less or equal to 48, without adhesive border each dressing. A6236 is hydrocolloid dressing, wound cover, sterile, pad size more than 48 square inches without adhesive border. Then our next one is hydrocolloid dressing, wound cover, sterile, pad size 16 square inches or less with any adhesive border each dressing. And then we go to the top of the next column for A6238, hydrocolloid dressing, wound cover, sterile, pad size more than 16 square inches but less or equal to 48 square inches with any adhesive border each dressing. A6239 is same thing, 48 inches. A6240 is hydro dressing, wound filler, paste. And A6241 is hydrocolloid dressing, wound filler, dry form. So we said ours was 24 inches, square inches, so we know it's either A623A, which is 16 square inches to 48, or A6235, which is 16 square inches or equal or less than 48 square inches. So we didn't say that ours had an adhesive border. So we're going to pick this one, A6235, hydrocolloid dressing, wound cover, sterile, pad size more than 16 square inches, less than 48, because ours was 24 square inches and we did not have an adhesive border. So we would assign that code. Now let's practice one from the medicine. So let's say our patient had tobramycin sulfate. So we can come to the table of drug and chemicals. Right here, tobramycin sulfate, up to 80 milligrams. It's either given IM or IV, and our code is J3260. Now you can also look this code up in the regular tabular if you would like. So tobramycin, you can see right here in the tabular, it gives us the same code, J3260. So now let's just flip to that code and make sure that that's the one we want. So it was 3260. So it tells us injection of tobramycin sulfate up to 80 milligrams. So that's the code we want, and that's the one we would assign. So you can see it's pretty straightforward. Again, you look it up in the index and you verify in the tabular.